I don't know how I got here. Must have been a hell of a party. I don't even remember drinking. Were we drinking?
Yes.
Jill says yes. Our last two travel adventures have been quite different. Several things have changed. Some controlled, some not so much. Full-time RV travel has definitely changed since 2020. Previously, we traveled during cooler weather, and we lot docked quite a bit. Walmarts, Cracker Barrels, and Pilot gas stations. Now, it's hot, and we're trying to stay at campgrounds so we can have full hookups, electricity, and air conditioning. Okay, we're on day one of our trip south. And, hey, you got soup?
Yeah, you can have some.
That's Maryland crab, isn't it? Okay, it's day one of our southern trip. We're going to Fort Meade, Maryland. We're going to stay 2 nights there. Should get there in about 2 hours. We had originally planned to be in D.C. so we could see our oldest daughter. However, there's no campground reservations available in D.C. or around D.C. We also planned to stay in South Carolina, Union, my hometown. But there were no campground sites available in the area. So that made us worry a little bit. So we started to plan. We're planning where our next campground's going to be so that we made sure we had reservations. That's not normally how we travel. The best thing about traveling, especially the way we do it, is we have 7 days to go 13 hours worth of travel. So we have plenty of buffer. So if we get lost or misdirected or end up somewhere else or get stuck in a traffic jam, it's no big deal because we have no place to go.
All day to get there.
And all day to get. Tell them, Jill, tell them. Tell them, darling. Now you just Where's my disembodied baby doll? Oh, Lord, that's a big old tree. Stop looking. You're holding up traffic. When we left Pennsylvania, the gas price was about $3.38 a gallon for regular gas. In 2019, when we were traveling to Pennsylvania, we found gas for $1.99 in Louisiana. Now, the good news is, as we travel south, the gas prices are going down. Well, we made it. We made it to Fort Meade RV Park, or something like that. Anyway, we're in Maryland, a whole state away from where we originally started. Come on, let me show you my site. It's a nice pull-through site. We're on the end. Our daughter said, come on down the street. There's lots of parking. It's all for cars. And then you have that. The truck's 16 feet long. I don't know what that is. It's a long truck. So I'm parked all the way up another block. I'm gonna walk down to the house. Sights to see. You can't assume that you can stop and see things along the way without wearing a mask. Some states are mandating masks be worn when you're inside. Jill and I, we're trying to avoid those places. And some sights to see are still closed. It's day 3, and I tell you what, it's been a blur. I started off day 1, we drove 2 hours to this campsite. We spent the first night, and day 2 we drove into Washington, D.C., visited our oldest daughter and 2 grandchildren. It was a bomb. The day was terrible. It rained. That tropical storm Fred came through, and the weather was humid. D.C. is on a lockdown. Everybody's wearing a mask inside and outside, and I don't know, we just didn't really feel it. We were going to walk around D.C. a little bit and see some sights, but we were like, what the heck? Came home, and of course we went to a restaurant and ate some food. Had a good sleep last night. I don't know how the heck I got out there in the grass, but anyway, we're getting everything ready, and we're going to have another travel day. So we're headed south. Come on, you can ride along with us. On the road again. And we're stopped on the road again. Traffic's moving awful slow again. I can't wait to get out of this traffic. Well, it's about 7:30, the end of day 3. Jill and I just pulled into our campground in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, and we're going to stay the night. It's just a pull in. I'm not even going to disconnect the truck. I just leveled the camper, plugged in the electric and the water, and We don't even have a sewer site, so I'll worry about that on down the road. We're just looking for a place to hang our hat and have electricity so it's not so hot and we can run that air conditioner while we're trying to sleep. Eating out on the road. Jill and I, we like to eat out on the road, and we like all the mom and pop shops. Something different, off the wall stuff, not chains. Unfortunately, a lot of those places are still closed for lack of employees, or they have limited hours. So there's less choices. I can't remember the last time I was here. It's probably been 35, 40 years ago. I haven't traveled down 95 in a while. I've been hitting 81, 40, and 85. So we passed by and said, what the heck, let's go in a couple of these shops and check it out. A lot of cool stuff, but you know, mostly junk. It's great for the kids, you know, big ones too. Well, day 4 is complete. We got in last night pretty late. The drive was about 5.5 hours, and of course it took us about 8.5 hours. We can always add a couple hours to it. We make a lot of stops. We didn't do a lot of sightseeing. That's another story. But we made it. We're safe. We're set up, and we're going to start our day. We're down here in Savannah, and we're going to go see what we can see. We're staying at Hunter Army Airfield outside of Savannah. It's a military campground, Lots Island. But every time we stay here, it seems like it's a little bit run down. They keep parking me in these crazy spots. When we were here in 2019, it was rainy and wet and cold. We came down to the Riverwalk, but we didn't walk the Riverwalk. We just sort of hit a couple shops, decided it was cold, and went back to the truck. Found a man chair. Jill's in another store, buying t-shirts this time. That's far better than buying diamonds. We just stepped into this really cool bar, Abe's on Lincoln Street.
How easy are Ubers to get around?
Pretty good.
Easy. Okay, because I know on the island and home they're not easy. They're really easy.
That's where our buddy's standing right now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. I see it.
Oh, and gas prices in Savannah, Georgia, $2.84 a gallon at Walmart. That's pretty awesome. And I passed this gas station called El Cheapo. That's just my kind. I'm looking forward to seeing more of those. Shortages. Stores and restaurants don't have the things that you would expect them to have. The normal stuff. We stopped at a Wendy's. They rang me up. They gave me my food. And when she went to give me my change, she said, we don't have any change. I said, that's okay. Don't worry about the change. Just give me $1. She looked at me like it was my problem. We also stopped at a Dairy Queen. They said they were out of ice cream cones. You're an ice cream place. How do you run out of ice cream cones? It's crazy. It's topsy-turvy. I just don't understand. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about my trip and how it's different this time. It's always a challenge. It's always an adventure. Until later, thanks for your time. Bye.